Behind every great villain lies a secret. For Norman Bates, that secret wore a wig, spoke in a whisper, and demanded absolute obedience. Welcome to Villainology, and today we dive into the twisted mind of Norman Bates, where Mother Knows Best means blood will flow. Before Freddy Krueger stalked your dreams, before Hannibal Lecter dined on his guests, there was Norman Bates, the boy next door with a smile as soft as butter and a knife as sharp as guilt. Based on Robert Bloch's 1959 novel and immortalized by Alfred Hitchcock in Psycho, 1960, Norman is both victim and monster, a man split between love and madness. And at the center of it all, Mother. Segment 1. The Mother Obsession. Norman wasn't born evil. He was created, smothered by an overbearing mother who preached that sex was sinful, women were wicked, and the world was dangerous. When Norma Bates died, or rather when Norman killed her, he couldn't let go. He exhumed her corpse, he preserved her body, and worst of all, he preserved her voice in his head. From that moment on, Norman wasn't alone. Mother lived inside him, pulling the strings, whispering in the dark. Don't let that woman come between us, Norman. Segment 2. The Motel Murders. At first glance, the Bates Motel looked harmless, just another roadside stop for weary travelers. But for Marion Crane, it became her final destination. The shower scene isn't just iconic, it's symbolic. Mother's wrath unleashed on a stranger who represented temptation. Norman's hands held the knife, but it was Mother's voice that commanded the strike. And this wasn't an isolated event. Anyone who threatened Norman's loyalty to Mother ended up in the swamp. Segment 3. The Psychology of Norman Bates. Norman Bates is more than a slasher villain. He's the blueprint for cinematic psychopaths. His dissociative identity disorder blurs the line between victim and villain. One moment, he's a shy, polite man. The next, a merciless killer under Mother's control. That duality makes him terrifying because he's relatable. Who hasn't heard the voice of guilt or felt trapped by a parent's shadow? Norman just took it to the extreme. Segment 4. Mother as the true villain. Here's the chilling truth. Norman isn't the only villain in the story. Mother is. Even after death, she controls him, a parasite feeding on his psyche. Norman Bates without Mother? Maybe just a lonely, awkward man running a motel. Norman Bates with Mother? A walking nightmare. When Mother knows best, you don't survive. Check in. Segment 5. Legacy of Norman Bates. Norman Bates didn't just stab his victims. He carved a new era of horror. Psycho birthed the slasher genre, paving the way for Halloween, Friday the 13th, and A Nightmare on Elm Street. And Norman's legacy didn't end with Hitchcock. From sequels to the Bates Motel TV series, audiences remain obsessed with the boy who loved his mother to death. Closing. The tragic villain. In the end, Norman Bates isn't just a killer. He's a cautionary tale of control, repression, and the shadows parents can leave behind. And maybe that's what makes him so haunting. Norman isn't a monster from another world. He's the boy next door who couldn't cut the cord. Because when mother knows best, Norman Bates kills. If you loved peeling back the layers of cinema's most chilling villains, hit that like button, subscribe to Villainology, and let me know in the comments. Do you see Norman as a victim or a monster? And remember, check in at the Bates Motel at your own risk.